Okay, friends. So let us start this session. This is a workshop session for MCAC and CCNA. That is Windows Server Administration and Network Administration. So let us see some basic things today. Let us see what is a computer network and what is server administration and what is network administration. Okay. I'll ask a simple question to you, friends. Can you please tell me what exactly is a computer network for you? With whatever knowledge you have, with whatever experience you have about a computer network, just try to explain me what is a computer network. Okay, fine. Normally, what we do, the common definition we see of a computer network is connecting of or connection of devices. Yeah, I got an answer here, like interconnection of two or more computers devices. Okay, connection of devices. Okay, why we are connecting devices? Connection of devices for sharing data or for sharing. Yeah, excellent. Now let us see. Connection of devices for sharing information, right? So when I say connection of devices, I'm not only talking about computers here. There are many more devices in computer network, friends. Like there is a computer, there is a server, there is a router, switch, firewall, okay, printers, and there are some wireless devices. So there are many devices we have. Normally we say connection of computers. Okay, computer is a major part of a network, but like I said, you beside computers, there are many other devices that we have in a computer network. That is one thing. And the second thing is, normally we say sharing information. Fine, we are sharing information over the computer network, we are sharing data, but besides sharing data, there are many other things we can share. So when you say sharing, not only we can share our data, we can also share our hardware. Like, if there are 30 computers in a company, how many printers will be there? One printer will be there. So all the 30 people can access that one printer. They can take printout from that one single printer. Okay, then we can share internet also. Again, there are 30 people or maybe 300 people or maybe 3000 people, it doesn't matter. Whatever the size of the computer network may be, one internet connection we can take in that computer network, and we can share that one internet connection with all the users, maybe tens and hundreds and thousands of people. This also comes under sharing. Okay, we have something called remote access. Remote access means, you are sitting in your home, you're working from your home, you can sit in your home, you can access your company server. Okay, this is your sharing remote devices or remote access. So these are some of the advantages of a computer network. Not only connecting of computers, we can connect multiple devices. Like, these are some of the devices we use in computer network actually, like computers, servers, routers, switches, firewall, printer, cables, etc. These are the devices we use. So why we are connecting all these devices, why we are making a network by connecting all the devices? For the purpose of sharing. And what we can share? We can share our data in the sense all the types of data will come, all the files. Maybe it is a document file, maybe it is a photo, maybe it is some text file, maybe it is a PPT. Whatever we have, everything comes under data. So we can share all the different types of data. And then we have the hardware. We can share a scanner, or we can share a hard disk, or we can share maybe a printer, as well as we can share internet. These are the things we can do by using a computer network. So whenever you see any company where there is a computer network, first of all, the computers, the devices should be connected with each other. Then the sharing process will start. First of all, there is a connection, and then there is a configuration. Okay, I'll show you one computer network here, friends. When you see this computer network here, we can see most of the devices are added here. Okay, fine. So this is a computer network here, and in this computer network we can see clearly there is a server here, there is a switch here, there is a router, there are some computers, there is a firewall here, and we can see The network is connected to internet. So there is an internet connection coming here. We can see printer here. We can see scanner here. So see, this is a very simple computer network topology. Most of the devices are added here. Servers, computers, servers, switches, routers, firewalls, printers, and all those things. See, we can see only one server here. But see, I can guarantee you, like, there is no company where there is only one server available. There can be 10 servers, or there can be 100 servers, or there can be, like, 300 servers in a company. That is possible. There is only one switch, but it can be one switch or 15 switches or 150 switches or maybe like 750 switches. There is only one router here, but maybe there can be 5 routers. There are only 4 or 6 computers here, but there can be like totally 5,000 computers in a network. So the quantity can be anything. The numbers can be like much more higher, but the devices are this: computers, servers, routers, switches, firewalls. These are the devices we use in a computer network. See, so what you see on your screen is a computer network where all the devices are connected with each other. Fine, that is a computer network. Now, very simple question again. Suppose imagine in this server there is a folder here, and the folder name is suppose like say project folder. This is project folder, and this project folder contains some files, like suppose say cloud dot document. There is one document here, and suppose there is java dot document, and one more we have like say tally dot document. There are 3 documents available in this project folder. And where is this folder available? The folder is present in the server. Very simple, friend. Just listen carefully and try to answer this question. Suppose there is a user sitting on this computer, and suppose the user name is Shushma. Her name is Shushma here. And suppose there is a person sitting here, his name is Taha. I'm just using your names, friends. Taha. And there is a person sitting here with the name Rajesh. And there is a person with the name Nirmal. So we have these 4 people here sitting on their computers. Okay. Now we can see clearly Shushma computer, Taha, Rajesh, and Nirmal computer. Their computers are connected to switch. This is the way computer network is designed. The devices will be connected to switch. All the end devices, they are connected to switch. End devices means the computers and everything is connected to switch. And this server is also connected to switch. That means the Shushma computer and this server, they both are connected to each other. But are they connected by using a single cable, or are they connected directly here? No, the devices will not be connected directly. All the devices will be connected to switch. From switch, they are connected to servers or computers or routers or switches or firewalls or whatever. Okay, so Shushma computer is connected to server. Now, can you please tell me, Shushma user or Taha user or any user, can they access this project folder which is there in server? Very simple question. I repeat again, server, and there are many users there. All the users are connected to server. Okay, so my question is, sitting on their computers, Shushma is sitting on her laptop, Nirmal is sitting on his computer. So from their computers, can they access data from server? Can they access the project folder from server? Okay, I got an answer here like S. Yeah, most of you are saying S here, but the actual answer is no. Shushma, Taha, Rajesh, and Nirmal, or whatever users, or how many users we have in a company.
There should have access permission.
Exactly, they cannot access a project folder. See, what I'm saying here is, server is connected to switch, switch is connected to computer. This is a computer network. That's good. They are connected with each other, so there is a computer network. But just remember one thing forever: the devices will not communicate with each other until and unless we do some configuration there. I repeat, the devices will not communicate with each other until and unless we do some configuration. So if you're not sharing project folder, the users cannot access project folder. We have to give some permissions there. We have to share the project folder with the user. Like suppose I'm sharing project folder with Shushma user and say Rajesh user. So only Shushma and Rajesh can access the project folder. Taha cannot access project folder. Nirmal cannot access project folder. These are the only 2 people who can access project folder. We have to give permissions. After giving permissions only we can access a particular folder. Okay, if I say today, can you send an email by using a Gmail account? Maybe most of you will say like yes, because most of us will use maybe like Gmail or Yahoo accounts, Yahoo mail accounts. So we can send an email by using Gmail account or Yahoo account. But what is the condition there, friends? First of all, our account should be created there, right? The Google people or Yahoo people, they are not creating our account there. We have to access the server, we have to create an account there. Coming to Facebook, most of you are maybe using Facebook for sure. Okay, so we have a Facebook account there. I'm using Facebook from 2010, but Facebook is there from 2005 actually. Facebook was launched in 2004, 2005. I'm using Facebook from 2010. That means what I have done in 2010, I have created the account in Facebook server, and by using that account I am connected to all my friends and relatives and all those things. That is the purpose of Facebook. But the account should be created by a person in the Facebook server, the Facebook website. The account should be created, then only you can use a Facebook people are not creating your account. This is over the internet. Maybe it is Gmail or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. We have to create the accounts so that we can use it. But coming to company, friends, coming to company's network, Shushma is not creating the account. Rajesh, Taha, Nirmal or any user, they are not creating the accounts. Who will create the account? There is an administrator on a server. There is one person on a server, his name is administrator. So what this administrator will do? Administrator will create an account for each and every user, and this account will be created in server. So the administrator responsibility is to create accounts, Rajesh account, Taha account in server. Then the administrator will give permissions to this user. Administrator is saying like, okay, she can access the account, she can access the project folder, and Rajesh can access the project folder. So then only these people can access. So in company, there are many people working. Maybe Shushma is working as a HR manager, Taha is working as a IT admin, Rajesh is working as a programmer, Nirmal is working as a finance person. These are 4 different people working in 4 different departments. So their accounts will be created in this server, and administrator will create the account. That is the first thing. And the second thing is there are some permissions for them. The permissions like, okay, they can access this folder, they can access this particular file, they should not access this particular website. These are the permissions there. These are the policies created for them. And who will create these policies? Again, the administrator will create the policies. So everything is done by administrator. So when you go with MCSE course, the Windows Server Administration, that is what you are learning there. You are learning what is a server, what are the types of servers available, how to install the server, how to configure the server, and by using server, how we can do administration. This is what you should know in MCSE. We will not see any company there where there is no a server. Every company must have minimum like 5, 7, 10 servers, because without a server it is not possible to manage a network. It is very difficult. There are certain ways we can manage, still we can, it is possible, but it is possible in a computer network where there are 10, 15, 20 people working. But see, if you go and see companies, big MNCs, there will be like thousands of people working, or hundreds and thousands of people working at least. So in 99% cases, a company network has multiple servers. So company will look for a person who knows how to install, configure, and do administration of that particular server. And to learn those things, you should learn MCSE course. So this is the best example. I just repeat the example again. Please listen carefully. Server will be there in a company, but server is a dummy machine. Server will not do anything on its own. There should be someone who should configure the server. There should be someone in a company who should manage and configure the server, and that person is called administrator. So administrator is a person who will install and manage and everything. But how many people know administration? People who do MCSE course or Linux administration course, these are the people who can manage a server. Accounts people are not managing a server. Marketing people or finance people or programmers or HR people, they are not managing. Remember I told you, if a user is working as a marketing person, his account will be created in server by the administrator. Like coming to the public network, that is your internet. Who created your Facebook account? You created your account. Who created your Gmail account? You created your account. Who is managing that account? You're managing that account, right? On Facebook, you have the authority to be friends with someone and to become unfriend with someone. You have the authority to like a photo or you should not like a photo, whatever. You have that authority because that is your personal account. But once you join a company, it is not your personal account, it is a company's account. So company will say like, okay, Rajesh, this is your account and these are the permissions for you and these are the applications for you and this is the work for you. This is what will be set in a company. And who will set all these permissions and softwares and the security things for Rajesh? The administrator will do all these things. So when we took the example of project folder, we said project folder Shushma can access, Rajesh can access. That means there is some person there who is giving this permissions, who is allowing this. Okay, we can say like this. We can say, okay, Shushma can access project folder, but the user Shushma, she should not access Tally. The user Shushma is not accessing Tally. There is no permission for her to access Tally. So she can access only cloud and Java file. And coming to Rajesh, Rajesh should not access cloud. He can access only Java and Tally. So like this, we can again share, we can change some permissions there. So these are the things we need to do in a company as an administrator. This is just a very simple example. There are many other tasks we have to do. There are many other configurations we have to do on a server. So server is a machine using which we are controlling and managing a network. But server or router or switch or any other machine, they will not work on their own. There should be someone who should configure and manage those networks. There should be someone who should do installation, configuration, and administration in these networks. Okay, so when I say computer network, it is connection of devices. Of course, it is connection of devices, but what is the main purpose of connecting devices? Sharing. But the big question here is, once you connect devices, will they work automatically? No, we have to do networking. Networking means installation, configuration, and administration. These devices must be configured. Okay, what we have to do in configuration, I got a message here like assigning IP addresses. Exactly, this is one of the thing. Like, you know, we need to assign some IP. I'll just write in a simple way what we have to do. We need to assign something called IP address. We need to install some service. We need to configure this service. We need to give some permissions. We need to provide some security. We need to take some backup. We need to share data. Okay, we need to monitor machines. These are some of the things we do. All these things we have to do on these servers. Okay, we can assign IP address, configuration, installation, and all these things. This is what a server administrator will do. And coming to network administrator, that is your CCNA course. In network administrator is the person who is responsible for configuring switches and configuring routers. The work of a router is it will make communication between your office and the branch office. Like, you know, there are many companies which have many branches in multiple cities or multiple countries, maybe, or maybe within a city they have many branches. One branch maybe somewhere in North Hyderabad, another branch somewhere in South Hyderabad. So how to make communication between these two branches? By using a router. Okay, so router will make communication there. Then we have one more device called switch. When you see the diagram carefully here, friends, when you see the network here, each and every device is connected to switch. Computer is connected here, wireless router is connected here, server is connected, router is connected, printer is connected. So switch is a device that we have in every computer network. And switch, there are some types of switches and there are certain configurations we have to do on a switch. So when you go with CCNA, you are learning about routers and switches in CCNA. MCSE is about servers. There are different types of servers available. Like there is something called DNS server, DHCP server, backup server, WDS server, file server, ADDS server. We have different types of servers in Windows Server administration, and in network administration, switch and router we need to learn. There are three things in network administration: IP addressing, switch, and router. These are the three concepts we have to learn in the network administration path. So overall, If you know Windows Server Administration and if you know server administration and network administration, then you are eligible to get a job in any company. A company will look for a person who knows how to configure servers, routers, and switches. Okay, so then only you are eligible to get a job in any XYZ company, whatever the size of the company may be. Maybe there are 50 people, or maybe there are 5,000 people or 20,000 people. You know, there are many companies in Hyderabad, a city like Hyderabad, where there are 20,000 people working, 25,000 people working in one branch. Like Amazon is there in Hyderabad, Google is there, Microsoft is there. Okay, these are very, very big companies. HP, IBM, Wipro, okay, Cognizant. There are many companies here. A company like Amazon, they have a branch in Hyderabad and they are planning to go up to 35,000 people in that particular branch. They are planning to take 35,000 employees in different departments for sure. Accounts department, HR department, programming departments, finance department, production department, network departments, server departments, cloud departments. So there are many departments there. So by using server, we are managing all the departments. So these are certain things we need to understand about a computer network. So I repeat again, friends, listen carefully. There are two things in computer network. One is the connection, another one is the configuration. Connection of devices does not mean they will communicate with each other. Actually, you know, server will not work on its own. Router, switch, computer, they will not work on its own. We should do some configuration. I always take this example and repeat the example here also. You know, when you use your mobile phone, you should know how to use it, right? You should know how to operate it. Like you should know how to make a call, you should know how to send a SMS. Then only we can use our mobile phone. But is there is something like this, like, you know, you have a mobile phone and automatically your mobile phone is making a call to some XYZ person, or automatically, like, you know, there is a message going to some XYZ person. No, you should send a message or you should make a call. Then only the mobile phone can make a call or send a message. Here also same. Servers, routers, switches, firewalls, computers, they are not working on their own. Whatever configuration we do on servers, routers, switches, and computers, according to our configuration, the devices will work. And how to configure them, that is what you learn in Windows Server Administration and the Network Administration, that is CCN. Okay, friends, so just take your time, just take 30 seconds. Just try to revise what we have said, and if you have any queries or doubts, we will see. Then we will move into the next thing. If you want to raise any question, there is an easy option. There is a chat box there. You can simply send me a message in chat box. Or if you want to talk to me directly, you can just raise your hand and you can talk to me directly. Okay, so there is a question here like, what is the duration of the course and what about certifications? So the duration of the course will be 35 days. Okay, it is for 35 days. There are two courses here in this package. One is MCSE, that is Windows Server Administration. I'll write Windows Administration here. And CCNA, router and switch. So Windows Server Administration will take 35 days and CCNA will take again 35 days. Each class will take 35 days. Now there is an option here. Actually last week we have started MCSE as well as CCNA. MCSE is morning 7 a.m. CCNA is at 9:45 a.m. These are the two classes we started. I have just completed like couple of very basic class, very basics classes. We have not yet started the actual MCSE or actual CCNA. That will be starting from Monday after tomorrow. So these 2 classes are new classes. I have taken 1 or 2 classes. Again, these are very basic classes. I've just discussed about some networks and all those things. If anyone is interested to join in these classes, hopefully tomorrow I'll take a backup class. I'll arrange a backup class, and in one day I can take whatever topics I have taken there. Okay, so as of now, these are the 2 classes we have, MCSE and CCNA. Duration is 35 days. Coming to
Uh,
certification, I'll come to certification later. Yeah, Shushma, please go ahead.
sir, I have a doubt. Like, sir, Windows admin and like that one is 35 days plus CCNA is 35. So overall is 70 days, right, sir?
Exactly. Overall, it is
So that
75 days.
okay.
But if you have to complete both the
Uh,
courses in 35 days, there is an option here, right? Morning 7 a.m. you can come for MCSE, and same day 9:45 a.m. you can come for CCNA. One day you can attend 2 classes parallelly.
sir, but can we continue from 7 to 8 like that, sir? Like, like we have work, right, sir? So for that, or else after by evening 8 p.m. or else morning 7 to 9 p.m. like that,
Okay, see,
continuous
as
classes.
yeah, 7 to 8 a.m. is your MCSE.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is MCSE. And coming to CCNA, right now the CCNA is from 9:45 to like 10:45. This is the batch. Okay, 10:45 a.m. So in case if someone is interested for both the courses, they can go parallelly. But like you said, if you're working right now, maybe you're free in morning
Yes,
7 to 8 a.m. So right now you can come only for MCSE. Okay.
yes.
And coming to CCNA, whenever there is some other batch of CCNA, maybe in evening or maybe in morning some other time, then you can come for CCNA according to your schedule. Whatever schedule you have, according to schedule, you can come for the CCNA.
Okay.
Okay, but if
Oh,
in case if someone is free, then he can go for both the courses, and if someone is a working person, then morning 7 a.m. he can come for MCSE. Then whenever we start CCNA, evening 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. whatever, then they can come for the CCNA.
okay.
Okay. Okay, what is the difference between MCSE and CCNA? I think that is what we have discussed for last half an hour. The difference here is MCSE we are learning about servers, and CCNA we are learning about routers and switches. MCSE is the course designed by Microsoft. CCNA is the course designed by Cisco. Both are different companies and they both offer different technologies. Microsoft people are offering server administration. Cisco people are offering network administration, that is router and switch concept. So MCSE is about servers and users and computers. CCNA is about routers and switches and IP addresses. Okay. Now there is one more question here. Any particular labs for switches and routers? There are many labs for switches and routers actually. We have a simulation software here. It is called Cisco Packet Tracer. You know, by using this Cisco Packet Tracer, you can do all practicals there. This is your Cisco Packet Tracer. We can design our own network here. We can take routers, we can take some switches, we can take some computers here, and we can configure routers here. I'll show all these things when we go with CCNA, but this is the way we can do all practicals. So whatever I'm doing here, it is just like you're configuring a real router. See, I have done some configuration. This is what you do on a real physical router. So there are some simulation softwares available. One is called Cisco Packet Tracer. This is for CCNA, and there is one more here called VMware Workstation. You can go with this VMware Workstation for MCSE and Linux administration courses. So say this is VMware Workstation here. We can create multiple servers here. We can create multiple machines here, and we can do all practicals here. These are my existing classes here. So we can see I have created many virtual machines. Instead of VMware Workstation, there is one more option called Oracle VirtualBox. So we can go with this Oracle VirtualBox also, and we can create a virtual machine here also. So what is this virtual machine? What is physical machine? What is packet tracer? We will see all these things in more details in coming classes. But as of now, the question was how to do practicals. So these are the two softwares we have, one for MCSE and one for CCNA. I'll be sharing all the softwares with you. Okay, I'll be sharing the practical books also with you. Okay, so you can do all the practicals in your home on your computer, and how to install these softwares and how to use these softwares, I'll show all the details in our coming classes. Okay, so I'll repeat again, MCSE and CCNA we have already started. Morning 7 a.m. MCSE, 9:45 a.m. CCNA. I have just completed some very basic classes. I have not yet started the administration. I have just completed the very basic classes. So from Monday I'll be starting. There is one more basic class and I'll be entering into the administration. So if you want to come and try once, you can come Monday 7 a.m. for MCSE and CCNA 9:45 a.m. for CCNA. 9:45 a.m. morning 9:45 a.m. for CCNA. And if you are feeling comfortable, then you can continue with the class. If you're not feeling comfortable, then you can come in some other class. But these are the two new classes. Already there are some people there. So you can think of joining of these two classes. And whatever classes you have missed, I'll be taking the backup classes for you. So I'll just make sure like you will be updated before we start the administration. This option is still available. Duration is 35 days for each class. If you go separately, it will take 70 days. But if you go parallelly, if you're having time, suppose if someone is a non-working person, if they have time, then they can go with 2 courses in a single day. It will not be any difficulty for you to learn 2 courses on a single day. Morning 7 a.m. MCSE, then again 9:45 a.m. you can come for CCN. That is the one thing. Second thing is you will get all the recorded classes. Each and every recorded class will be like forwarded to you on your mail ID. Okay, so in case if you miss any class for any reason, the recorded class will be there, so you can just watch that recorded class and then you can come for the next class. That is the second thing. You will get the lab manuals, the practical books. I have created MCSE CCNA books. I'll be sharing all the books with you. I'll be preparing you for the interview question answers here. I have many interview question answers here. Okay, so see, normally people learn many courses, but they will feel difficulty in facing interviews. So whenever you are learning a particular topic, you should know what interview questions will come from this particular topic. There are certain interview questions. See, the first interview that I faced was, I guess, in 2006. When I started my career in 2005, I started learning. In 2006 was the year when I faced interview. I remember those interview questions, and we are in 2021. After 15 years, friends, after 15 years, the interview questions, majority of interview questions are same. So from every topic, there are certain interview questions we need to understand. So whatever topic we finish today, before I start any other topic tomorrow, I'll be taking like 5 minutes for our yesterday's class, revising that class, and we will see the interview questions, and then we'll move into the next class. Actually, the advantage in computer network courses are, today class is related to tomorrow's class, tomorrow class is related to after tomorrow's class, 10th class is related to 11th class, 25th class is related to 26th class. Okay, so they are connected with each other. So in case if you miss any class for any valid reason, you should watch the recorded class before you come for the next class. Then only the next class you will feel more comfortable. Okay, these are certain things that I do from my side. Okay, so duration is for 35 days, and it's up to you to decide whether you'll go for 2 courses or 1 course. I'm not sure about the fees, Shushma. Can you just call the management? They will inform you. They are in a better position to talk to you about the fees. Okay. Once you finish the workshop session, they will call you. Okay, there is a very big question coming here, and it is, now the server is migrated as cloud computing. So will you be covering cloud computing also? See, I'll be taking cloud computing classes here in Durgasoft, but this is not a cloud computing class. This is a Windows Server Administration and Network Administration class. Cloud computing is completely a different course. It's a different technology. To learn cloud computing, the prerequisite is Windows Server Administration and Network Administration. These are the pre-requirements. You should have the knowledge of server administration and cloud and network administration. Then only you can go with cloud administration. Okay, so we are not learning anything about cloud here. We are learning about server administration. See, what is cloud here means? This is a server. We can say server is there in our company. So you should know how to install, configure, and manage this server. But nowadays, companies are not taking physical servers. Companies are taking virtual servers. And where is that virtual server located? Virtual server is located somewhere on a cloud. Virtual server is located somewhere on some other company's data center, like maybe Amazon, Microsoft, Google, IBM, VMware, Cisco, whatever data center. So there we need to create a virtual machine and configure the server there. So whatever you're learning in Windows administration and Linux and network administration, these are the configurations we use on our physical server as well as on a virtual server. For example, IP addressing is one of the most important topic for any person in networking. IP addressing. CCNA is a place where you are learning about IP addressing. It will take 5 to 6 classes for us in CCNA to learn IP addressing. 5 to 6 classes means it. Just imagine how big is the topic. IP addressing, subnetting, VLSM, and all those things will take like 5 to 6 classes. Now, when you go to cloud computing, you're not learning IP addressing, but you're using IP addressing there. You're not learning any IP addressing there, friends. You're simply using IP addressing there. So this is what we do. So these are the prerequisites for you to go to cloud computing. You may get a job only on MCSE and CCNA. That is more than possible. Actually, in every company, server administrator and network administrator is needed for sure. But still, there are many companies, friends, where they're not using cloud technology. Slowly and steadily, they are migrating into cloud. But every company is not using cloud as of now. If every company is using cloud, suppose, still the server administrators and network administrators are needed. What is a cloud? There are servers there. There should be someone who should configure a server. Who will configure the server? The server administrator will configure a server. The only difference between a physical setup and a cloud setup is physical setup, we have servers within our company. In cloud, the same servers we are configuring at some other network, on some other network, on a data center. That is the difference between a physical setup and a cloud. So MCSE CCNA is the prerequisite for most of the courses. You can go for cloud computing, you can go for security, virtualization, wireless, data center, voice, ethical hacking. There are many options available in networking. Normally people feel like, okay, Linux is only available, is there in networking, or cloud is there in networking, or MCSE is there in networking, or CCNA. No, there are many options available for you in networking. You can choose any path, and whichever path you will select, you can be there in that path for next 12, 15, 20 years easily. But from where we have to begin? We have to begin from the Windows administration and the CCNA, that is network administration. Okay, so like I said, the classes have already started. I've just taken like couple of classes here, couple of topics, maybe very basic topics. CCNA, I have not started the main topics yet. I'll be starting the main topics from Monday. So if you wanna come and try, if you wanna come and sit in one class or two classes, more than welcome. You can come and sit there. And MCSE, still I'm in very basics of MCSE. Let me just take you to the MCSE course and CCNA course. These are the running classes. So this is morning 7 a.m. class. See, we are still in the demo. We have seen what is computer network, computer networking, and we have seen these types of networks. If you have any concept of, if you have any idea of computer networks, you know what is a local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. This is what I have discussed here. This was one very important class that you have missed, maybe in case if you are coming, that is operating system. This class I have to take as a backup class for you. So once you finish the class today, the management will be calling you. So if anyone is interested in joining this class, joining the MCSE class morning 7 a.m. I'll be taking a backup class tomorrow, hopefully at some time. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I'll take a backup class so that you'll be more than ready to continue in that existing MCSE class in morning 7 a.m. So these are the types of networks we need to discuss, and this is your operating system we need to discuss. That's it. These are the two topics I have covered there. Okay, and coming to CCNA, friends, let me just go to the CCNA folder here. This is my new CCNA batch. So demo was very basics, and demo 2 we have just discussed some hardware. Whatever we have discussed in CCNA, again everything I'll be repeating in coming classes. Actually in CCNA some people are very new to this technology, so they asked me to take some basic classes. So I've just taken basic classes, but again each and everything will be repeated in more details in coming classes. So in CCNA I can say if you have missed any class, no issues, each and every class will be repeated again. So this was just a basic class about Cisco, how to go for exams and all those things. Full form of MCSE and CCNA. MCSE stands for Microsoft Certified Solution Expert, and CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate. MCSE, Microsoft Certified Solution Expert. This is a course designed by Microsoft, and CCNA means Cisco Certified Network Associate. This is a course designed by Cisco. Yeah, all the details will be shared by you once we finish our demo session, workshop session. Whatever email ID you have provided, on that email ID, the fee structure, the course duration, the course syllabus, everything they will share you on your particular mail ID that you have provided there. They will share everything. CCNA is associate. Microsoft, we know very well. We are using Microsoft product for many years now. Windows 7, XP, all these are from Microsoft. Cisco is actually one more very famous company that is famous for designing and manufacturing routers and switches. Rajesh, as of now, we are not offering CCNP. Actually, I have done CCNA, CCNP as well as CCA. I have done CCIE also. But as of now, we are not offering CCNP. Hopefully, we'll plan CCNP in future. But as of now, from Cisco, we are offering only CCNA. Okay, I have taken classes for CCNP before as well as I have done CCIE. So I have like pretty much experience on CCNA, NP and IE. But coming to classes, friend, as of now, we are not offering those classes. After completing these two courses, if you want to go to any other path, these are the options available for you. You can go with cloud computing. In cloud, you can go with AWS, or you can go with Azure, or you can go with Linux administration. This also we offer, but there are certain other options available like security, like firewalls and all those things. This also we are not offering, but this option is also available. Security is there, voice is there, wireless is there, service provider is there, hacking is there. These are the options available for you after you complete your these two courses. But better option is you can either go with like security, Linux administration or cloud. These are the very important options, very important courses we have. You can be in these three paths for next 10, 15, 20 years. You can choose any one of this path and you can be in that path for your rest of your life. Okay, the last question, the one more question here is the same question someone asked before, like, do we get certificate from Microsoft and Cisco? That was the question I need to address in more details. See, there is something called learning and there is something called certification. Learning is what you're doing here. Learning you do in institutes. This institute or any XYZ institute, you're learning the administration there. Okay. Certification wise, there are some separate certification centers. It is called Pearson VUE. So once you finish your courses, you should go to this Pearson VUE examination center and you should register yourself there and you can write the examination there. Examinations will not be conducted by interviews, and Pearson VUE people, they are not offering you the training. These are two different things. First, you are learning something in an institute. Then the second thing is you go to somewhere called Pearson VUE and you can write your exam in Pearson VUE. Say this is your Pearson VUE. Just go and check Pearson VUE in your city, from whichever city you have logged in. There you can go and write your exams. Which exams you can write? You can write your MCAC exam, CCN exam, Linux exam, not Linux maybe, but Windows exams, Cisco exams, cloud exams, whatever exams we have, most of the exams we can write here. So you should take your photo ID proof. You should go to this examination center. You should contact these people and you should select, okay, I want to write my CCNA exam. So they will ask you what is your code. Every exam has a code. So your CCNA examination code is 200-301. So you should say this is my code. So whatever day you select, whatever time you select, on that particular day and particular time, they will register 200-301 exam for you. This is a code. I hope so. Let me just check once, please. Yeah, 200-301 is the examination code. So this is the exam we need to write here. So just tell them the code and they will book a slot for you. So we should go to that particular examination center and you will be writing examination there. If you're writing CCNA exam or cloud exam, security exam, service provider exam, whatever exam you're writing, you should go to this service center. You should go to the examination center that is called Pearson VUE Center, and there you should write the exam. Okay, so just select your course code number and write the exam. See, right now MCAC exams are not available. MCAC exams are no more conducted by Microsoft. We have only the course, that is Windows Server Administration course, but exams are not conducted. But still CCNA exams are conducted. So if you want to write any exam, better you go and write your CCNA exam. Now, how to write an exam? Is it very difficult to write an exam or is it very easy to write an exam? I'll just tell you how to write the exam. You tell me whether it is easy or difficult. Okay. Before you write an exam, okay, we have registered our slot maybe after like 1 month, 2 months, whatever day you selected, whatever time you selected in that working hour, working day, the examination will be conducted. Now, in exam, the total time will be 120 minutes. This is the duration of exam. Okay. Total questions will be between 45 to 60 questions. This many questions will come in your exam. That is the second thing. Then total marks will be 1000 and you should get 825 to pass your CCNA exam. Out of 1000 marks, you should get 825. Now total questions are only 45 to 60, right? Now the question, for one question maybe it can be like 20 marks. For one question maybe it can be 10 marks. For one question it can be like 50 marks. They do calculation by themselves. They have their own way of calculating. They do calculation. I'll tell you how they calculate. You know, this 45 to 60 questions, most of the questions are multiple choice questions. Now, I hope you're feeling better when you see this multiple choice question answers. It's more easier to answer multiple choice questions, right? Like in our school and college, what we used to do, there was a question and we used to write the complete answer on a paper. Like someone is asking what is Pythagoras theorem. So we used to write the complete theorem there. But right now it is not like this. This is multiple choice question answers. Some questions will be like labs. 1 or 2 small labs will be there. The labs we will see in our CCNA class, but there are 1 or 2 labs will be there. Very simple lab. They will say like, okay, everything is configured between these routers. Can you just do some changes there? For example, I'll just go back to one of my existing class. Okay, so they will say like, okay, sales, accounts, marketing, server, everything is configured here, but still there is no communication between this marketing computer till the server computer. So they will say find out why it is not communicating. So then we should go to computer, then we should go to switch, then we should go to router, then check what we are missing. So if you know how to configure this setup, you can easily troubleshoot them. So practical is also not a big deal. So see the examination questions, majority of questions, around 90% questions will be multiple choice questions. One or two labs will be there. That's it. Now, coming to the marks, like I said, there are totally 1000 marks and you should get 825. But how they are dividing 1000 marks between 45 to 60 questions? You know, multiple choice questions will be, they will ask you one question and there are 4 options. That is what multiple choice question answers we know for very long. So they will say like, what is the capital of India? And they will say 4 options, like say Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi. So what we need to say? We need to say Delhi. Our answer is correct. But there are certain cases where there are many questions where they will say choose all that are correct. Like they will say, what is the name of your country? And they have written nearly 10 names there. One name is like India, another name is like Bharat, another name is like Hindustan, and there are 7 more names. So what is the question? Choose all that are correct. You know, we call our country as India, Bharat, as well as Hindustan, right? So these are the 3 different names. So what we need to do now? We need to answer all that are correct. If you are answering all that are correct, then only you are getting full marks. So like this, they will design your question answers. Okay, so they will say like, these are the 45 to 60 questions. You have 120 minutes and you should finish your exam within 120 minutes. And once you finish your last question, imagine 55th question was your last question. Once you say finish, then you will get your result on your screen. There itself, they will show your score report, whether you pass or fail or whatever. The result will come on your screen. It is not like our school and college exams where we have to wait for like 10 days, 1 month, 2 months maybe. Online exams are not like this. Once you finish your exam, you'll get your result. So I hope you understood how the examination pattern will be there. Multiple choice question answers will be there and some labs will be there. So we need to simply go and attempt the exam. Now, after completing the CCNA course or MCSE course, MCSE there is no exam, so let us go with CCNA only. So after completing the CCNA course, can we pass the exam? Can we go and attempt the exam? My answer will be, without learning CCNA also you can write the exam. Without learning CCNA also you can write the exam, but you will not get a job for sure. You should learn CCNA, but I'm saying without learning that is possible. What if I say there is something called dumps? Dumps means, like suppose in dumps there are 300 questions and answers. Please listen carefully, friends. There are 300 questions and answers. So what I will do, I will say, okay, take these 300 questions and answers, or purchase these 300 questions and answers from internet and prepare these 300 question answers. So once you prepare these 300 question answers, remember most of the questions are multiple choice questions. So prepare this 300 question and answers, and once you go to exam, how many questions will come in exam? Anywhere between like 40 to 60, and all these questions will come from these 300 questions. Now please tell me, is it difficult for you to pass the exam? There are some dumps available already. Some questions are available, maybe 250, maybe 300, maybe like 500, it depends. So from these dumps, from these 300 questions only, in examination the questions will come. So we should simply take the dumps, we should prepare the dumps, and then we should go for the exam. This is the way we need to approach for an exam. We need to go for an exam. So 99% cases without any issues, you can easily pass the exam. The only thing you should do is you should prepare this 300 questions answers very well. Whatever we are learning, this learning will help you in interview. This learning will help you in working as an administrator. Examination is a different ball game. Examination is completely a different thing. Without learning, without taking these dumps, I can guarantee you like 99.9% cases, you will fail the exam. 99% cases you will fail the exam, because in examination, the questions will be like scenario based question. There are 10 options that you're reading each and every option carefully. Every other option is looking like a bit similar. So on one question, maybe you're spending like 30 minutes. So we have only 120 minutes. Can we answer all the questions? No. So we have to take the dumps. Now, I was expecting this question. The question here is, from where we will buy dumps? Let me just take you there. There is something called Exam Collection. This is a website here, friends. We should go to this Exam Collection. So once you go to this examcollection.com, there are more websites, but this is very famous. Can you see it is written as Microsoft here? So Microsoft means whatever exams are there from Microsoft, you can write all the exams. See Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. What is the examination code? AZ 900. So this exam you can write Microsoft Azure DevOps Solution AZ 400. Microsoft Office 365. Okay. Windows 10, there is exam MD 100. Okay. Microsoft Office 365 Fundamentals MS9. So see, we have many exams here. All these are exams offered by Microsoft. And if you go to Cisco, if you just click on Cisco here, these are the exams offered by Cisco. See, this is our exam CCNA 200-301. We have many more exams from CCNA. We have many more exams from Cisco. One of the exam is CCNA, and this is the most famous exam we have from Cisco. CCNA routing and switching. See, they are asking nearly like $90, and how many questions are there? 455 question answers are there. Updated on when? June 9th, like 2 days. Yesterday only they have updated some questions. Okay, so when you go with this exam, then you know you can write your exam. See, it is, they will ask you some money. Dollar fee. They are asking some mail ID and all the details here. So we need to go and write the exam. So this is a place where we can take dumps. See, there is someone from USA. He is saying like this practice questions will surely help you to pass your exam. Some comment is coming from there. Someone is commenting from Australia. There is one comment from India also. UK, Egypt, Nigeria, Italy. See, many people are writing the exams from different locations. So without taking dumps, friend, you cannot imagine or you cannot think of writing an exam, because exam questions will be like multiple choice question answers for sure, but you know the exam questions will be a bit tricky. So better you take the dumps and prepare the exams. Can we give exams online? Exams are online only, but are you asking like can we give the exam from our home? Is it your question? All these exams are online exams only, but you know for last 1 year, because of this COVID restrictions, these people, the Pearson way people are allowing you to write the exam from your home. I'm not sure the same is still available, because right now there are no more lockdowns. See, there is a message here, COVID lockdown situation. Appointment availability is limited due to social distancing precautions and varies while variable location. Please note that our okay, so right now they are allowing you to go to the examination center and write the exam, but it is not like, you know, we need to register very early, because you know there are very limited seats they are offering every day. I remember like 4-5 months before, they were allowing people to write the exam from their home, but now we need to go to the testing center, and there we need to register and write the exam. Okay, whether you write from your home or from your testing center, doesn't matter. You already have the question answers there, you already have the dumps. Prepare the dumps and go for exam. I have never seen any person in my 13-14 years of career who has done exam without preparing dumps. And whoever I met who has done the exam without preparing dumps, 100% he failed the exam. Because like I said, you exams are a bit technical, questions are a bit technical. So it will take some time for you to understand the question and then to answer that question. So we have only 120 minutes. Within 120 minutes, it is not possible to answer all this question. So if you take this 300, 400 questions, if you are preparing daily 30 questions or maybe 40 questions every day, then within like 10, 12 days or maximum 15 days, you're ready for the exam. One more thing, if you take dumps today, the dumps are valid only for next 1 month. So within 1 month, we need to write the exam. But still 1 month is more than enough for your friend to go for the examination. Hardly 10 days, 12 days or maximum 15 days are more than enough for you to prepare the questions. Then go for the exam, then you'll get the questions from these dumps only. I did my CCNA exam like 10 years before. So when I did my CCNA exam, I prepared the dumps. Now I'm sharing my experience here, friends. I have taken the dumps from one of my friend. See, dumps should be the latest dumps. Like, we have seen the dump. They have uploaded, they have made some changes in the dump yesterday only, 9th July. So the dumps should be the latest dumps. You should not take dumps from any XYZ person. When I did my exam in 2010, I took dumps from my friend. My friend took dumps from his friend. He took dumps from some of his friend. So my dumps were like very old. I did not realize then, but the dumps were like 3 months or 4 months old. So when I went for the examination, some questions came out of the dumps. So it was very difficult for me to answer, because difficult in the sense I was reading the question and I was like, trying to answer that particular question. So around 70% questions came from the old dumps, but the 30% questions were completely new. Okay. But you know how much marks I got then? I got 828. I just passed the exam by 3 marks. So marks will not be written anywhere on your certificate. It will be only written as you are a CCNA certified or Amazon certified or whatever certified. I'll just show you one certificate here. CCNA certificate. So it will be something like this. Okay, I'll just open this file here. You can see some person with the name Mohammad Mannan. He is a CCNA certified person. So whenever you see this certificate, there is no marks written anywhere. There is one ID written. It is called Cisco ID. That's it. But marks will not be written. So you should get your passing marks. That is more than enough. I know many people who got 1000 out of 1000 because they have prepared dumps very well. They have like good memory, so they were able to answer all the questions correctly. Okay, there is one more question. If I go to exam, can I be able to select the center by my nearest city? Of course, yes. I'm not sure from which city you're connected, Nirmal, but if you're in any big city, the examination center will be there in that big city for sure. Like suppose if you're in Hyderabad, there are many centers in Hyderabad. If you're somewhere in Bangalore or Chennai, there will be many centers. If you're connected to the class from a remote area, then you should go to some big city and you can choose any location. Okay, if you're in Kolkata, Nirmal, then Kolkata, you have many examination centers, right? Kolkata is a big city, a metro city. Pearson View Centers, Kolkata. So see, it is showing many centers there. You can go and test at any place. It's not compulsory to go to a particular city. You can be in any metro city. Maybe tomorrow you are working somewhere in Australia in a city like Sydney. There also you can write your exam. The exam will be registered on your name. Remember, I told you should take your photo ID proof. You're not showing your college and degree certificates here. You're showing, you should provide your photo ID proof. So by providing that photo ID proof, they will book a slot on your name. So this certification number, there is a ID here. This certification ID, it will be connected with your ID proof. So it is better you take your passport or a driving license, because when you change your passport, still the photo will be yours. So it is a better option to take your passport, or better to take your driving license, so that you can carry that passport anywhere globally. Okay, there is a question here like CCNA certification validate. Okay, for how many years it is valid? And there is one more question similar to this. No, CCNA question or CCNA certificate, or in that way any certificate, any online certificate, most of the certifications have some validity. Coming to CCNA, CCNA is valid only for 3 years. It is valid only for 3 years. Like if someone is a BTech graduate here, or someone has done MBA, that MBA they can use for rest of the life. But coming to this cloud, CCNA, Linux, and all the certifications, they have an expiry date, because technology is changing. So we need to upgrade with the technology. So this is the duration of CCNA, only for 3 years. Of how to increase after 3 years, there is a different case. I'll tell you later. There are some other certifications we need to write. There is a big story there also. But as of now, I can say CCNA is valid only for 3 years. So before 3 years, if you're not writing any other higher exam, there is something called CCNP as well as CCI. So if you're not going for CCNP and CCI, your CCNA certificate will expire. AWS has made the certification validity only for 2 years. So before 2 years finish, you should go with any other higher exam so that you can, like, upgrade. It is a business, first of all, as well as it is good for the companies as well as for us. See, I cannot show my 10-year-old CCNA certificate. I cannot get a job on that basis. I cannot show my Linux certification, which I have done like 7 years before. I cannot get a job on that 7-year-old certificate. Companies will look for a person who is updating himself or herself. This is the validity of CCNA, 3 years. See, writing exam is not a big deal, friends. It's very easy. You already have question answers. It is very easy process actually, writing exam. Working is also very easy. You know how to use, you know how to configure routers, switches and servers. So working is also not a big deal. Interview is also not a big deal, because if you know any concept, you can easily answer. Like if I ask you what is the capital of West Bengal, you may say Kolkata. You know this, right? We know this. What is the capital of Maharashtra? Bombay, Mumbai. We can answer this easily because we know this. Interview is also not a difficult thing. You know what is a difficult thing? Learning is a difficult thing. I should not use the terminology difficult while learning, but I'm just comparing all the 4 things. Exam is easy, interview is easy, working is easy. These 3 are very easy. This is what we do in our rest of the life. For next coming months and years, we do working exam. This will be easy. Actually, the most difficult part you will be spending with me. If you're coming for this course, the most difficult part of your career, that is learning, you will be spending with me. Learning anything for the first time may look a bit difficult. If you want to learn Bengali language, it will not be so easy for me. But is it difficult for a person like you to speak Bengali? No. I am from Telangana. I can speak Telugu very well. But is it easy for any Delhi guy to come and learn Telugu? He can learn, but it will not be so easy. But once he learn, then he can speak, write, read, whatever. So learning wise, it will be always a bit, we should put some extra effort. So I'm ready to spend more time. I'm ready to spend extra efforts from my side. You should be ready to spend some extra. You should be ready to put some extra efforts from your side. If you and me can do something like this, just a bit extra efforts, then learning will be more interesting. Learning will be more fun. Don't feel like, okay, this is there is no background needed to learn MCSE CCNA. Any person with just the computer knowledge, computer in the sense, if you know how to open a computer, browse a computer, that person can learn MCSE and CCNA, because these are the courses we are learning from the scratch. Once you go to cloud computing or security or any other courses, you're not learning from the scratch, you're learning from a professional level. And to learn those courses, these 2 courses you should know very well. I'll be taking cloud classes also. I know what is there in cloud. Okay, why people are feeling a bit difficulty here and there in cloud? The reason is they're not good in IP addressing, they're not good in server concepts, they're not good in routing concepts. That is the reason some people are, or many people are facing difficulties in learning cloud computing. But cloud computing, it will be the easiest for you. Cloud computing should be the easiest for you, because whatever you're learning in Windows admin and network admin, many things are repeated there. Many things are repeated there. So out of these 4 stages of our career, first one is learning, second one is exam, third one is interview, fourth one is job. Second, third and fourth will be very easy for you if you do some extra work, if you just spend some extra time while learning. That's it. So I'll just say one thing before I stop from my side. MCSE and CCNA are the most famous courses we have in networking. These are the courses we have from 1990s actually. So these are very famous courses, and you will get job only on MCSE, CCNA for sure. But if you want to upgrade yourself, you want to increase in your knowledge, if you want to do some extra courses, there are many courses available like Linux, cloud computing, security, many other courses available. For most of the other courses, MCSE and CCNA is the prerequisites. So if you want to make a proper career, if you want to go very far in networking, I'm not sure anyone is here who is planning to make a career only for 2 years. Okay, I'll work till 2023, then I'll retire. That is not the way, that is not the reason we are learning here, right? We are trying to make a career for next 10, 12, 15, 20 years, hopefully. So for your betterment of your career, just take your time, think, and just try to learn MCS and CCNA, and that will be great for your career. Okay, friends, so that's it from me for today. I'll be here for like some more time, maybe like 5 more minutes or more maybe. So if you have anything, any queries or anything, hopefully we can address all your queries. So it's up to you now. I'm done from my side.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah, Shushma, please go ahead.
sir, actually, I'm very much interested in CCNA, and meanwhile, I'm learning. Like, I'm confused whether I should. Actually, I am very much interested in DevOps. Also, I'm learning like GitHub and something Kubernetes and all the things. So,
Okay.
and in and AWS also. And I thought I don't know the basic things like CCNA and MCSA. Like
Okay.
I know some like basic things in the sense, and I don't know properly like how to configurations of router and switches, and in depth I don't know. So
Okay.
I thought like I want to join CCNA and learn fully, and here I'm working as a non-technical job, sir, in Wipro, but
Okay.
my designation is associate. So
Okay.
with this experience, can I go with this CCNA choosing CCNA career?
See, there are two questions here actually. One is what you're doing right now. See,
Yes.
you will be confused for rest of your life if you don't have the basics, right? It's a very simple human logic. If the basics are not good, if suppose my grammar is not good, can I read any document or can I read any books or anything
Mm,
in English? Grammar is the most
no.
important part, right? So we should know this. That
Yes.
is one thing.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are good in basics, actually, first of all, MCSE season is not basic. This is way more than basic. These are administration courses. I hope you remember 10 minutes before I told you, I said here, right, that if you have to make your career in a better way, if you have to go very far in your administration career, you should learn MCSE and CSN, and that will help you in every way possible. Whether you go with Oracle DBA, there you should have the knowledge of that. Like there is a question here, this course will help for Oracle DBA. If you have like Windows Server administration knowledge, you know what is happening in the administration part. So if you know this, and it will help you in DBA, it will help you in cloud, it will help you in Linux, it will help you in ethical hacking, everywhere it will help you. Okay, and coming to your next question, like you're in non-technical field right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now just imagine one thing, for how many years you can work there, for how many years you can make a career there. There are two options for you. Maybe you can continue with a non-technical thing, or maybe you can take some like time and you can learn some technical things, and you can move into like technical things. Technical careers are way more wider and way more like broader than a non-technical career. That is a very simple thing. So it's up to you to decide. But for how many years you are working there?
No, I joined recently, sir, in Jan month.
So you're still like a very fresher, right? So
Yes,
it's not
sir.
a big deal for you to change any path within like 2 months, 3 months, or maybe within like 1 year or 18 months. You know, 3 days before, one of the person is coming in CCNA class. He is working on one technology, Java technology, for last 7 years actually. Last 7 years. And he is moving into like cloud computing now. But before he goes to cloud computing, he should learn server administration and CCNA. So he is coming for CCNA. And he asked me the same question. I am moving from one path, one technology to another, like from Java to like AWS. These are completely north and east. Yeah, so he asked me a question like, I need to learn CCNA because some of his friends told him like to go with AWS, you should learn CCNA and MCA. So he asked me the same question, do I need to learn CCNA? So I said, you're moving from one to another, Java to cloud, and if you have to be in cloud computing for next 12-15 years without learning CCNA, you should not start learning cloud. So it's not a difficult time for you to like just move into like technical field. You are still a very fresher. I'm talking about a 7-year-old experienced person who is working in Java and he is moving into like cloud. So everyone is welcome here. There is no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. And there is one more question. Will you share recorded videos and material after we join the class? No. See, the starting 2-3 classes. See, remember I told you there are a couple of classes that are I have already taken. And these classes you can find these classes on Google, YouTube. These people have their own YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and say Durga Soft. And let me just go to this Durgasoft first. Yeah, starting 3-4 classes or 5 classes they will upload on YouTube. Like say this is my last class, last CCNA class. You can see the CCNA class on YouTube starting from the first season. This was way back actually. This is CCNA, this was my MCSE class. This class is also uploaded on YouTube. So starting 3 class, 4 class, 5 class, they will upload on YouTube. But after that, the classes will be directly forwarded to you on your mail ID. So it's not like after joining the class only you're getting recorded classes. Starting 4-5 classes you are getting for sure. After 4-5 days, then the classes will be forwarded only to those people who have joined the course. That's the thing. So whatever classes I have done till now in MCSE CCNA, the classes are already there on YouTube. So if you have time today and tomorrow, you can just go to the YouTube channel of Durgasoft and just try to watch these videos. See today also they have uploaded some videos there. Like say 19 minutes or 1 hour before SQL Server was uploaded, 1 hour before AWS was uploaded. So all the videos will be uploaded on YouTube. But again, only starting 4-5 classes will be uploaded. Later on, each and every class will be directly forwarded to you on your mail ID. So it will come only to the person who have registered for the course. Now, is this course related to networking concept? Of course, this is a networking course. Whenever you think of a networking course, you're thinking of CCNA only, bro. Networking course means you're thinking of CCNA only. It is related to CCNA. It is related to networking. So this was the class. You can see I was just discussing about some basics there. CCNA is more of networks and MCSE is more of your servers. Both are in networking only. So these are the 2 courses related to network, and I can say with 100% guarantee, no one is making their career in MCSE and CCNA. You are learning and you're learning for like you'll be working on this MCSE and CCNA for like next 1 year, maybe 18 months when you get a job, or maybe 2 years. Then you will move into some other things like clouds and CCNPs and CCIs. But again, still, if you want to go there, you should start from here. No one has done BTech here directly, right? They started from school, then intermediate, then they went to BTech. BTech is more valuable, we know this, compared to school. But to go there, we have to start from somewhere. This is the place from where we have to start. So from whichever field you belongs, whatever background you have, maybe BTech or BCom or MBA or MCA, or maybe like, B Pharmacy, whatever degree you have, this particular MCSE season and this networking field is open for all. There are certain jobs where we need a special degree. If I do suppose BCom, I cannot work as a HR, I cannot work as a programmer. Okay. And coming to course content, once we finish our demo session, guys, you'll get a call from the management and they will send you all the course details to your mail ID. All the course content, fees, and whatever the duration and whatever ifs and buts are there, all the things will be forwarded to on your mail ID. And if you have any queries, any doubts, I'll be available. You can simply make a call to this Durgasoft management and they will make a conference call to me. Whatever doubts you have, I'm available anytime. You can call to me. But coming to the course details and fees and contents, they will provide all the details to you. Okay, friends. So I guess that's it. No other questions. So fine. So like I said, you just take your time, just think. I can say one thing with my experience and many of my friends' experience, networking is one thing which is more constant. We have more opportunities here. You have like more job opportunities and there's a good packages when you just move into your career. Okay. And technologies will not change very drastically. It will just change minorly here and there. So you have a very good option here. So just think, and if you are interested, then like I said, the classes I already started here. These are very basic classes. You can just take some time and you can go to YouTube channel of Durgasoft and you can see these videos. Okay. So very good luck to you guys. Thanks for joining, and have a nice weekend. So just relax and think and decide for yourself. Okay, so that's it from me for today. I'll be here for like 30 more seconds. In case if there is anything else, we'll see, or else we'll stop the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sushma. Yeah, take care. Bye. Yes, thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye. Good luck.